This is what I just worked. I worked. I just did work here hard, didn't I?
Yeah, man.
But
But it was a lot of fun.
a lot of fun. But before you leave, I have one goal and one goal only. She knows a lot and is willing to share.
Mm.
You're on.
Well, we're in difficult times right now, and I just want to sincerely say that I know this is tough for a lot of people, and my heart goes out to people that have lost loved ones, and I'm very sorry for that. And I'm just praying for you throughout your grief and just hope you will find peace with all of this. But with this whole virus and this whole corona COVID-19 pandemic, there are bigger issues that we have to talk about. There are still bigger issues going on, not just in America, but around the world. And more specifically, I'm going to be talking about where I'm from, Africa, for the most part. Now I know we're all trying to come to the end of this thing, and the whole world is in a race, to develop a vaccine for this virus. Doing my research, I found that Oxford University is leading, this virus race, and are actually starting to do human trials in Europe right now. But I've come to know that if the trials are not successful in Europe, they're aiming to go to Africa, most likely Kenya, I think Uganda, and start doing trials over there. Now this is where the controversy comes in, where I don't feel like my people should be used as guinea pigs for these vaccines, and I could say anyone should be used as guinea pigs for this vaccine.
Really?
For the most part, Africa has been through a lot. My continent in West Africa, Liberia, my people as a whole have been through a lot with a lot of vaccine trials throughout the years, throughout history. It have had a lot. We've had a lot of deaths from this vaccine as it really affected a lot of people. So I wouldn't want a corona vaccine.
Even in this country today.
Even in this country today, with what?
With vaccines.
With vaccines as a whole, we all know it is not the answer.
Not the answer.
We have to get through the root.
Me and Wyatt are on the same page.
Yes.
Fruit.
It is the answer. But more so much, I just wanted to come out here and make people, aware that this, pandemic is really affecting people on a larger scale, not just with the infections, but also the politics of it all, and the race, for revenue. Because if there are more vaccines, more money, right? More money.
The goal is 9 billion vaccines.
Yes, 9 billion vaccines, more money in the pocket.
It's just a prediction.
And also, we could really, talk the big talk. What is it? Population control, right? That is their goal. So I just want you guys to be aware that there's so much going on, and just really be more introspective and do your research. Read about this. Don't just believe things people are saying here in the United States. Read what's going on in India, what's going on in Europe, what's going on in Africa. Just be more educated on what's
going
really
going
on in the world. For the most part, Africa don't have high amount of cases.
Right.
Yeah, for the virus. So that's why I'm so against them even trying to use Africans as the guinea pigs for the vaccine. There's more.
Are they worried about in Africa about the corona?
Yeah, they're worried. They're on lockdown.
They're on lockdown.
They're on lockdown, but not as restrictive as this. Like they're
Right.
on lockdown also in Africa, but luckily I think because of the climate,
right,
we're not as affected.
Is this the first time they ever on lockdown?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
First time.
Yeah, really on lockdown, and it's harder for people in Africa because for the most part, most of the people in the rural areas, they're basically make their money day by day,
right,
hand to a mouth. So it's difficult for them. They can go out, and sell in the market.
Who influenced Africa to have a lockdown? The African government.
The West. Of
What?
course.
The
The
what?
West. The West.
The West
The West.
influenced Africa,
The fear
The-
of it. The fear of it all.
and the African believed them.
Yes.
It's a small percentage, 1%.
There are some people who are definitely, of course, having,
Yeah.
their own opinions. Like here in America,
Yeah.
they don't, they're very much so are conscious of what is going on, but the government is in control.
The
So
government's in
yeah,
control.
what else can you actually do?
What else can you do?
Yeah, but this is, I mean, do your research. I know there's a woman I follow on YouTube called Dr. Mumbi Saraki. I'm going to put her name under here, and you could just learn about a lot of things that's going on back home in the motherland. If you are of African descent watching this video, if you want to get more research on what I'm saying, you could follow the link and search up Dr. Mumbi. She really has a lot of knowledge of what's going on in the continent. If you're just a person who want to, get more educated on what's going on around the world, you could also search her and just learn more, expand your mind, question a lot of things. Question.
Don't believe
Don't believe.
anybody.
Yeah, don't believe anybody. And we all want the best for each and every one of our countries, but nobody, wants to pay the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
So there's need to be balance. There's need to be human decency. That you can't use other people as guinea pigs. I don't know how they're gonna try to find a way out of this, but vaccination is not the way to go. And
You believe the same thing.
vaccinating poor
Lifestyle.
people in
Yes.
rural areas also is
Right.
not the way to go.
Right.
So
Which has happened before, right?
which has happened before.
A lot.
With polio, with, I'm telling you, Ebola, it has
Ebola.
happened a lot.
So they go to Africa and give 1,000, 2,000, 10,000?
Yes, they
Thousands.
thousands.
You give 1,000 people vaccines, and what happens?
They
Most
give-
die.
But
A lot die.
most these vaccines are in the trial area,
Right.
So that is it's not like they're established, and they're helping people, but they're in the trial area. So what that means, a lot of people are gonna lose their lives
Wow.
before they can really come.
So before the vaccine comes to America,
Yes.
they're going to check it. They're going to lose thousands of lives in Africa to make sure it doesn't kill everyone in America.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's
So I have to think about that.
that's the whole scope of it all.
And that happens
Yeah.
over and over and over.
It happens over and over, and most likely when the vaccines are established and all of the scientific research have been done, and is a product of its own, everything has been done. And guess what? Who gets the real vaccines first? People in the West first.
Right.
So people in the West will be the first in line for the vaccines. And what happens to all the people who they just tested on? They'll be the last to get any kind of treatment.
Well, I believe in fruits and vegetables.
So
Banana is my vaccine.
banana, yeah. So let's
But it's a good perspective.
let's be mindful, and let's just not be ignorant to what's going on around the war. And there's also a lot going on also regarding the agenda for this coronavirus also around the world. I know China is trying to make like Africans the face of this coronavirus.
Wow.
There's been a lot of discrimination against African people
Wow.
in China. They're being kicked out of their homes,
Wow.
especially there's a lot of population of Africans in China, not just not Nigerians, but a vast amount of them have been kicked out of their homes, have been told not to go in stores, and just been evicted because the Chinese government said that they brought coronavirus in China.
Wow.
They brought coronavirus in China. Okay, so all of these stories
A lot
are
of stories
truth.
out there.
I'm not even gonna say a story. Do your research.
Do your
They're
research.
all out there. I don't know how this virus came to like a race issue, but
I never knew it was racist. I thought it was against the Chinese. I thought the Chinese says against the Africans.
But you know what? There's a stigma with corona. There's gonna be a stigma with every sickness, and no one wants to carry the burden of this virus. So they want to associate the virus with, people that they seem they're better than,
Right.
So it's an inferiority complex. So if you feel like you're inferior than somebody, you want to
I,